Hey, Marie, are you there? There she is. Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
All
Can you
right.
hear me?
I can. It's perfect. Good. I get to see you in person.
First day.
Yeah. So, since you're the only one on right now, how are things going?
Good. I'm just trying to figure out how to implement more veggies into my day. I
Okay.
ate a lot of fruit today, which,
That's
you know,
good.
according to my chart, was a little bit too much sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's, and it's not added sugar, so it's not as bad. Like
yeah,
don't fret too much about that. Yeah, so do you like raw vegetables? Like
Yeah.
cutting, what I do like on a Sunday, like I did yesterday, I cut up like a whole bunch of vegetables.
Yep.
and Keep them in a big Tupperware thing in the refrigerator, like peppers, like any color pepper. Now you're on the 28-day food list, so it's a little bit, so you want
Yeah.
as many on there, as possible. So like, let's see, zucchini, spinach, carrots. I'm trying to think what's all on there. I don't look
Yeah.
at it.
For lunch today, I had a big salad. I had a lot of spinach, kale. I put some carrots in there, cucumbers,
Cucumbers, yeah.
and chicken.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first 28 days is like it's especially the first week, you're just getting your feet wet. So Jody just
Right.
popped down. Jody knows what it's like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. I remember.
Yes, and so you do your best on that, with the vegetables, and just it's a little different because you like asparagus and broccoli and cauliflower, and that stuff is really good for you, but
It's not on the list.
it's not, because it causes a lot of bloating in people. So I think for me, broccoli is the one that bothers me the most. I still eat it, but I also know that that's where it comes from,
Right.
What has Hillary got there?
Shish kebabs.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Is that what you're cooking for dinner?
That's dinner. Yep.
Oh, it looks good. Yeah.
It's good.
Making me hungry.
I know I'm really hungry right now too.
Yeah, I bet. So, Marie, this is her very first day. So, and then Jody and Hillary Jody's been like, gosh, it's been a year.
Yeah, just coming right up on a year. Yeah.
And Hillary's been what, 8 months, 9 months? It's hard for me to keep track, but yeah.
It's mine.
It's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so we were just talking about how to incorporate, when you're on the 28-day food list, how to incorporate those vegetables in your day.
Yeah.
And it just vegetables, fruits more around your workout earlier in the day, not so much in the evening, just because of the sugar.
Yeah.
And I like, for fruits, I think berries, like your strawberries, blueberries, all of that, not as many carbs as far as sugary kind of stuff. Plantains, I don't know if you have an air fryer, but you can take a plantain and slice up the plantains and put them in the air fryer. Those are really good.
I'll have to try that. I have an air fryer, so.
Yeah, try that. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, that really, I think dates on that list for fruits.
I
think so.
Yes.
think so.
Those are good.
I actually had some medjool dates
Yes.
this afternoon for my little sugar pick-me-up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Those are good. Like, even if you have like 3 or 4 of them, that's plenty. I love dates. They have a lot of fiber into, so it's really good for you that way. So perfect. Yep. Your first day, you can, every day you're going to learn something, and it'll just get easier and easier for you. So good. I'm glad you're on. How's everybody else? Jody doing good? Hillary?
Doing okay.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah. It's been rough.
Yeah.
Been rough.
You look good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Feel a little bit better today.
Hillary, how about you?
Yeah, I'm doing well too. It's
Oh.
like 101 here, so it's like
Ooh.
really hot. Otherwise, I would take you outside.
Yeah, right. Wow. Maybe that's coming this way. I don't know. Could be. We had a beautiful weekend. We're at 63 right now. But if the sun is out, it's gorgeous. So can't complain. Better
No,
than snow.
yeah, for real. For real. A
Exactly.
beautiful weekend.
Oh, I know. So speaking of happiness, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So you guys can see my screen okay?
Yep.
Good. I turned my desk a little bit different in my office, so at least I have something behind me. Looks like I actually have something here. So, but yeah. So anyway, we're gonna, we talk about, well, happiness. I want to be happy in my life, and what does happiness mean to everybody? And it's going to be different for each one of us, right? What makes us happy? So, when you look at the definition of it, it means that happy is characterized by pleasure or indicative of pleasure, contentment, joy, and everybody's happiness is different for them. We should not worry about what other people tell us we should be happy about, or hey, you should be happy, you're blah blah blah, or you should be happy. Well, maybe we're not, so I'm gonna get Laura in here. So like I wrote here, truthfully, your happy is whatever it means to you. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, right? It's your list. You make yourself happy. If you are counting on somebody else to make you happy, that's not a good idea. That's just not going to happen, because you're going to have these expectations and they're not going to be fulfilled for the most part, right? So what I've done and encourage you guys to do is make a comparison list. So maybe you're struggling, you're not happy, whatever that means to you, but why is that happening to you? Why all of a sudden, or maybe it's been going on for a while, why is that not happening? And so if you write a list of the things that you think make you happy, and then make another list of what makes you unhappy. So like for me, I put down exercise makes me happy because I know I feel really good after meal prep. I love to cook. I like to get everything organized for my week, or at least 5 days. I tend to be optimistic. I'm not a pessimist at all. I really enjoy the optimism. It's hard in the world we live in to be optimistic, but I also know I can only control what I can control. I can't control the government or the healthcare system or the picketers and the people on the streets or whatever. I can control me. I am happy because I have a great support system. That's what makes me happy. Self-care days, taking that time to go for a walk, meditate, get a massage, all those things that we need to do to take care of us. Makes me happy is living life every day. And I think I've been in the healthcare system as a nurse working at the bedside, and I can see what happens if you don't live your life every day. It goes by, you get sick, it goes by super fast, and before you know it, it's over. That doesn't mean I'm out partying every day, but it's meaning I'm getting the best out of my day that I possibly can. Sometimes things don't go the way I want them to, but for the most part, I live that. Less social media. So I'm trying to be really strategic. That makes me happy when I'm not on social media a lot. Like obviously I have a Facebook page. That's how you guys came in. That's fun. The other stuff is not even the personal, like my family and grandkids and stuff, but it's the other people that kind of feed the negative in the world. So I have friends, quote unquote, on Facebook that they can get all negative, and that really just sucks the life out of me. So I tend to just not look at that. I just pay attention to what I need to. And then by 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night, I put it away. Positive affirmations. And I think as women, we need to be doing this with ourselves. I know it sounds so funny and people make fun of it, but you do have to talk nice to yourself. Right, Jody? You know, we beat, yeah, we beat ourselves up all the time. And we are not bad women. We're not horrible, you know, fat, ugly women. We have a lot of good qualities, and you each have your own qualities. You know, maybe you're good at the position that you have at your job, and you're good at being a mom and a grandma and all those things. Everybody has that, and we need to be positive about that. I love being outside. I enjoy the outdoors. It makes me happy. As much as I can be out, I'm out. And then unhappy, comparing myself to others, body shaming, negativity. I don't like being isolated. I don't want to be a hermit. And that happens a lot to us in the winter time. And that's really depressing. You know, and so I know this group, we've talked a lot about that when it was cold and nasty and you couldn't get outside. For those of us who live in those areas, right? It makes me unhappy if I don't tap those self-care days. And I'm not talking like I do that, 5 days a week or anything like that, but that, once or twice a month where I really take care of myself. Feeling unappreciated. I get unhappy when I feel like I'm unappreciated. Too much social media and that self-doubt and shame. And I think that comes from this old belief system that I had growing up. And not that my parents ingrained that into me, but I think the media did a lot of that. And I think, when you're in grade school and high school, middle school, all that. And as a woman, you're constantly fed with, oh, you need to be skinny and your skin should look like this and your hair should be this way. And you need to all wear, like I remember in high school, I wasn't like in the popular crowd. I was not in the jock crowd or the what do we call them? We call them the greasers. I was like, I just kind of got along with everybody. And so when you see like these cliques of the girls, wearing, I don't even know what the brand was. Maybe it was Nike. I don't even know what it was. That was 100 years ago. But, and I didn't wear that stuff. My parents, we didn't have a lot of money. And so there was a lot of shame and self-doubt in those periods. And I still have some of that. So I encourage you to make your lists. It's got a really kind of an interesting thing to do. So when you review it, you can kind of look back maybe at maybe some happier times in your life. When were you the happiest? And you might not be able to like recreate it. We can't go back and be in our 20s again, but some of those same feelings and experiences we could, but you might get like inspired by them. And I find that happiness comes in like layers. There's happiness. Like for me, I'm happy. I'm not like joyful and excited, but I'm happy. I'm content. Maybe content's the right word. But exploring newer options that bring you happiness. Like I was talking to, I don't remember, but they wanted to do kayaking and things like that because she did that with a girlfriend and really enjoyed it. And now that's something that she wants to explore because it was just a really kind of a cool experience for her. So they're just different things like that. Maybe it's hiking or, things that make you happy, not about what somebody else says to you. And a lot of times we compare ourselves to somebody else and we need to compare ourselves to this person right here. So, obviously looking at the things that you want to eliminate from your life that you can feel happier, maybe it's the toxic friends that you have. I've had to do a lot of that, in my life, get those people that they question everything you're doing and you're doing things to be healthier. And they're always like, oh yeah, you're eating just that salad. And, and it's like, well, yeah, I enjoy it though. Like, that's what I want to do. And I'm going to feel good tomorrow. You're not, like whatever, but,
sad kale.
yeah, that kale. Right. So, addressing the negative ones and then, maybe adding to the happy, what makes you happy. A lot of times going to get professional help. Like if you're really unhappy that you're finding yourself staying home, being isolated, not wanting to go out, really negative self-talk, either eating really bad or not eating at all. It's not shameful to go and see somebody to help you through that. A lot of health insurance plans, will cover those expenses. And I hear it's really hard to get into people right now in that in that world. But you know, if you can get an appointment coming up, it'll help you at least look forward to that too. And again, and it's not here, but we talked a lot too about writing those things down and journaling, getting that out of your head too. So what are some ways that you can find new happiness or things that you enjoy? Hobbies, we kind of talked a little bit about that. There's all kinds of things out there. It's if you're adventuresome or creative, mysterious, outgoing, just try some new things. You can do it by yourself or with some friends, like paddleboarding or kayaking or canoeing, or just even going for a walk with a friend and just talking about whatever, you know. I think that's taking the dog out. Hobby, according to this Rachel Goldman, she's a psychologist, hobbies can serve as a fun distraction, but can also help decrease stress and puts your focus on something fun and different. I've had various hobbies throughout my life. They've changed just based on what I'm doing. I still, if I would pull it out, I could probably, like my sewing machine. I love to sew and create and all of that. And I used to do a lot of creative things with wood. I'd take a scroll saw and I'd make all kinds, and then I'd paint it and I'd sell it. And that was years ago. I don't do that anymore, but I have different hobbies now. Like I'm out riding my bike. I love to mountain bike. I love to go and, you know, anything outside, honestly. So it might change a little bit, but it does. It just helps with the stress, and stress we know is not going away. We just need to learn how to manage it better. So, but you have to do what's fun for you. Just because I like it doesn't mean you'll like it. Like, I don't know many people who like to meal prep, but it's my time. I turn the music on. It's my hour or hour and a half, depending on what I'm doing. And I just do it. And then I'm stress-free for food for the week. Put yourself first. This is a hard one, isn't it? Oh my goodness. It sounds simple. Oh, I'm just gonna do that for myself. But then you get like the day comes, right? And then all heck breaks loose. It's either work, it's your relationship with your husband or boyfriend, it's kids, family, dogs, cats, friends. We get little to no self-care unless we plan on it. So you plan on that workout and that meal prep or whatever it might be for you guys. Because if you put yourself first, that doesn't mean you're selfish. You're not hurting anybody. You're going to be much more happy, more energy. You're going to feel so much better about yourself. It's like the weight's lifted. You've got that time to yourself, and maybe it's 3 days a week you do something for yourself. It doesn't have to be every day, but kind of gradually get to that point. Half an hour, maybe you're sitting reading a book, whatever it is for you. So it impacts your mood, your stress level, your concentration, your productivity. It's that recharge. Maybe it's 15 minutes of just like, I find myself doing that. Sometimes I've got to get away. I'm just going to sit down and I'll just sit there and I'll just be like with my thoughts. And it's 10 minutes, maybe at the most, you know. But it's good for you. And then if you have people that you're living with, it's good for them too, because they'll make you less stressful and maybe less crabby. And you're not as, you know, biting back at them as you maybe would have been if you didn't take that time to yourself. Do any of you experience that, where if you take time for yourself, you're just a happier person?
Yeah.
When my kids were growing up, it was painful, and it was hard for me to do it, but I did it. I would drop one kid off at kindergarten, and I had two little ones that would follow me. I'd take them to my aerobics class. I'd take a bunch of Legos and Barbies, throw it in a corner. So here you go. But I was a much happier mom and a better mom for doing that, because I knew I needed that. You know, just like your kids need to be active and doing things, I needed that too, but I needed myself. Even though they were there, I was still doing that kind of stuff. So, exercise, of course, we all know that's a good thing to, you know, not everyone loves exercise, but, you think about all the benefits you're getting. You know, we talk about obviously the weight loss and the fat loss, but think about it from the oxygen you're breathing in and the nutrients to all your tissues, your ligaments, what you're doing really well for your heart. your cardiovascular system, your circulation, your lungs, your skin, all of that. And then those endorphins that you get from exercise and that activity give you energy and you feel good. So you get that workout in, whatever time of day works for you, you feel more energized. Sometimes it's working out in the evening and you sleep really good. For me, I need to do that in the morning. It gives me energy. I still sleep really good at night. Everybody's a little bit different with that. But it just takes 30 minutes to get those feel-good hormones, improving your mood and your health. And you guys all can attest to that. It just helps you feel so much better when you can get that. And then, of course, along with that is eating that balanced diet, right? Honestly, when you feed your body, you're going to get whatever you feed it, you're going to get the results of that, right? That's when your body responds, whether it's to the bad food or the good food, you're going to be able to tell. If it's good food, it's going to affect your mood and overall, you're going to feel better. If you eat really bad, fried, high sodium, high sugar foods, your organs are going to respond negatively. Like you're not going to have any energy. Plus, it's not good for you. High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, other things like that, right? So, we all know that. Like if you're going to eat poorly, we're adults who can make those decisions, and we can live our life and have a glass of wine and a couple of pieces of pizza, but you may not feel like high energy the next day. And that's okay. Just know that that's part of it and that's going to happen. But when you do that on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
you can just imagine, so just a lot of it's just being aware of it. Not that you shouldn't ever, enjoy some fun stuff. And maybe you won't have that reaction. I know for me, I'm super sensitive to that kind of stuff. Super, super sensitive. So when the longer you eat really well and do all of this, then when you don't, you really can tell, because you get to really know your body. And then you're going to make the choice of, yeah, I'm not going to have that, third piece of pizza because I know I'm going to feel really yucky tomorrow. So, and you guys know, or maybe you don't, but now you do, that there was a relationship between food and mood. Mood swings come when you don't eat a really good diet. Yes, there's other reasons for that. You also have mood swings when you don't eat. The hangry feeling. And then I get crabby, my blood sugar drops, and then I just eat anything I can find. Whatever it might be. Yeah. And you get irritable and you can't concentrate. And if you eat really, really well, you're going to have that. Like I said, like I wrote here, and like I said before, it doesn't mean you can't treat yourself. But if you have some balance with the baked or the grilled protein and vegetables, you're just going to feel much stronger. You're going to be happier. Your mind's going to be happier. Because when you eat bad and you eat bad and you do it for more than a couple days, you're going to start to really tell yourself how bad you are, right? And that's not good either, because you're going to just beat yourself up like we do. Eating, bad once in a while, you can forgive yourself. So choose your company wisely. We talk about your support system and friends. Not everyone, when we talk about this, right? Not everyone means well. They're snarky. And they're jealous because you're choosing to do and live a little bit of a different, like a healthier lifestyle. And sometimes you're going to get those comments from, sometimes it's family. But I have a lot of friends that have used to do that to me when I would bring my cooler with me into work and things like that. I'd get comments like, oh, you got your dog in there, or you're bringing your cat to work. I'd be like, yeah, you want to see him? Just stuff like that. Having that good support system helps improve the happiness factor and your well-being, and knowing that those people who are supportive are going to be there no matter what, so make it a priority to allow people in your life that are beneficial to your mental health, because you want to be that for other people too, because guys, our friends, we call them our friends, can be very toxic. And you won't even feel it until you end that relationship. So today, interesting enough, I went in and unfriended some people that I really don't want to be associated with anymore. Not that they did anything bad, but it was just a lot of negativity and just made me feel bad. And so it's gonna be, I'm gonna be much happier because I won't see that stuff. So just if you have to make those personal and professional choices, you might be in a job too that's just not real good for you, and it's okay to make those job changes. There's plenty of jobs out there, right? And making a career change is not like the end of the world, especially even at our age. I mean, how many people have you seen that are out in the workforce now who are our age or older? And it's actually kind of nice because they're nice people. They're not the, person who doesn't want to be there. They're the, like, where was I? My memory is really bad right now. Oh, I was at the liquor store. It's terrible, right?
That explains that.
Right, I can admit.
And
So
plus,
I
we're
went
the
there.
only ones that show up for work.
Right. Right. Oh my God. So I was there, and the gentleman that checked me out was probably older than me. And he was just so nice and just, just like it was a breath of fresh air, because as you know, customer service in a lot of places is not like, you're just like on the assembly line and you're going. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know how I got off on that, but routine and structure help us feel grounded and balanced. You guys all know, like, you go on a vacation, it's fun, but then you're not in that, you don't have any structure. And when you come back home, then, you get that structure. You feel much more calm, don't you?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm back to, but you still, you still do need to get out and socialize and take vacations too. So, and honestly, all this really starts with you. I can tell you all this, and I'm not always good at following my own advice either. But I also know you're in control of you. So, you have to let it go if it's not bringing you happiness, whatever your happiness is. And, relationships, it could be family, friends, could be a spouse or a partner. And it's difficult to have to let that go, but you got to think about it. Is it worth your peace of mind? And do you want to live the rest of your life in that, whatever that is, that relationship? And if you're unhappy with yourself, who's responsible? Yourself, right? You are. But be gentle. You have to have some compassion and take some baby steps to improve that. So if you desire to lose weight, don't attempt to quit what you're doing cold turkey, because that seldom works, right? So, okay, so like Marie's just starting, you're probably had something that maybe you always have, but maybe it's not on the list. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That means you're taking baby steps to get to where you want to be. And that's just that list it's great. It's amazing. But if you're like, let's say you're out on the road and you forgot something and you need to eat, just get something that might not be on the list. I would rather have you eat something than not. But yeah, you want to take those baby steps and, wean yourself off bad habits, because every day is going to be easier. So I tell you guys, 1% better every day. Like maybe, you get up tomorrow and you eat breakfast right away versus waiting too long. Or you get up tomorrow and you get your workout in instead of hitting the snooze 3 times like I do. So just also be easier on yourself and just take one day at a time. Like here, if you want a better job or if you want to start your own business, don't quit your job. Start saving until you can leave and be your own boss, right? Try to slowly eliminate stress from your life and you'll begin to see results. So the stuff doesn't happen overnight, right? We're all old enough to know it. We just need to be told that once in a while. So happiness is possible again, right? Because if you've lost it, you can find it. And I know making those 2 lists will be eye-opening for you. Like, yeah, that does make me happy. I'm going to do more of that. And this doesn't make me happy anymore. I'm going to get rid of that, because life is unpredictable and we're not going to have 365 days of joy.
No.
We want to have more good days than bad days. And even in bad days, appreciate the good that you've experienced. Maybe you got a really good night's sleep the night before, but your day just didn't go very well. It's that gratitude thing too. Engagement in meaningful activities. This is an interesting thing. This is something I learned. There's meaningful activities, hedonic and eudaimonic. It's a well process being, they might promote well-being outcomes. So it's really interesting. Hedonic focuses on pleasure, things that make you happy, and this udam, I don't even know, eudaimonic pertains to engagement functions. So you must have both. So it's about doing the things that you enjoy, but also going out and socializing and doing those kinds of things and turning hobbies maybe into careers. If you do something you'll love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? That's what I'm doing right now. Like, I love working with women. And then I liked a lot of things in my life. Being a nurse, I loved it. I learned a ton. I would never ever just say, oh, that was the most horrible thing. It got to be not so fun for me. And that's why I'm doing this. So finding what that is, and that's pleasure for me. I just love that because I like to socialize. I get to meet new women, learn all about you guys, and also just be a mentor and help you get to where you want to be. And honestly, I learned so much from you all. It's great. So happiness is possible if you've lost a little bit of that, and it happens. It kind of comes in seasons and waves throughout our life, right? So anyway, I thought it is a kind of a good topic, especially in the world we live in, and just some of the stuff that's happening and the things that we don't have control over, no matter what our belief is or how we feel about some of the decisions that the lawmakers make, or whatever. We truly have control over this person. And so this person counts. We have our opinions and that kind of thing. And that's okay. But for me, happy means those things that I shared with you. I'm sure there's more. I love food. I love to eat. I love really good food. So, that's just, so, you don't have to eat like a bird, right?
True.
We shouldn't. We need to eat our food so we stay healthy and get the nutrients and all that kind of stuff. But do you guys have any questions or any comments on any of that? Take that off the share. What about anything else going on in your life, or any questions? There's Laura.
I was late.
You
I
were
was gonna
there.
say, I like the idea of a list because I sometimes get like recordings in my head of thinking the same thing. Like
Right.
waking up every morning, I'm gonna do everything great, and then the end of the day, I don't. So I like the idea of having the list of what makes you happy, to focus on doing that and remembering that and thinking of that.
Right.
Versus the negative.
Oh, yeah. It is. I didn't, when I pick a topic or somebody gives me an idea, I have what I think I want, but then I go and I do a little research, and lists like that made me like, oh my gosh, like, how simple is that? Like, why didn't I think about that? But it makes sense, for you to do that. So were you at Summerfest?
Yeah, I was Thursday and Friday with my sister.
Oh, nice. I like that sweatshirt.
Thank you.
Marie, any of you ever heard of Summerfest?
No.
Hillary has, yes. So it's
Yeah,
a huge music festival here in Milwaukee. So
Oh.
it's all outdoor, and I don't even know how many bands come in, and there's the real popular like headlining bands, but then there's all like the local, and they're all in these it's huge. And we had a great weekend, great weather for it. It's used to be 10 days straight now, and then COVID and all that, and then it was in the fall. And now it's 3 weekends in a row. So it's like 4-day weekends, I think. 3 weekends in a row they do it, but it's cool. So Laura's local, so that's why she has that. And Hillary has family in the area. So
It's amazing actually how they can have so many bands and such big stages, but you don't hear the other ones. You're like listening to one and that's all you hear. You walk a little bit, you listen to another one, that's all you hear. It's really cool.
it is. It's a really neat, really neat festival, and I'm glad they're back. And then last year you had to have a COVID this and COVID that. Now this year you can just go. So kind of back to quote unquote normal. So good. But that makes me happy. Music makes me happy. I love listening to music. So, right. So all those things that, so now your list grows, right? And then look at you're unhappy and get rid of some of those things that you're unhappy about. But you can't get rid of exercise. You can't get rid of food. That needs to be on your happy list.
I know something else I learned and I heard recent, well, I've read it before. And it talks about instead of saying, I can't eat that, think about what you can eat. Instead of telling yourself, oh, I can't eat that, say, well, I can eat this, or I can eat that.
Right, that's a good
That
way to
can
do
be
it.
helpful too.
Yeah, it's the word can't, right? Or I
Yeah.
would have, I should have. I
Yeah.
should have done that. Yes, yes, all that. One topic I have to research this a little bit more, and I think a lot of us, and I didn't realize this about myself, but have you guys ever heard of codependency? I mean, I've heard of it and never really dove into it, but I'm reading a book. There's 2 books that were referred to me, and I'll share those. So we'll do a codependent topic, because I'm finding it very interesting and very like, oh my gosh, I think I'm codependent and I need to work on that. Maybe most women are, huh? I don't know. I think I grew up in a codependent. My parents are still married. They're great, but my mom especially, she grew up in an alcoholic father and had 2 alcoholic brothers. One's a twin brother and one was an older brother, and one died of it. So, and then my first husband was an alcoholic. So I think that really, really like hit home for me, like, oh my gosh. And it's not a negative. I used to think it was a negative thing, but it's not. If you know that about yourself, there's ways to work through that. Yeah. So yeah. So that's I think a really awesome topic to get in on. It's all this stuff. Because if we can help get this stuff, I don't want to say fixed, because it's always a work in progress in my mind, but just know ourselves, the other stuff's going to come.
Yeah.
The other stuff's going to come. So it's this. Hillary knows a lot about that, right, Hillary? She's really working on that.
Yeah. One thing I was just going to share too is I like to schedule fun.
Oh,
Make myself schedule fun. And so we do that a lot. My husband and I, like, we'll just randomly, it'll be like, okay, what are we going to do for fun today? And then we'll go on a little road trip, or we'll play a game, or we do something to have fun. And so that makes it something to look forward to. And it's always spontaneous. So,
well, that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
try to schedule fun for yourself, or just like take an hour and do something that'll make you happy.
Yeah, that you enjoy.
And it's hard to do, but
It
once you
is.
find it, it's cool.
Yep. Because if you're like me, I'm always like, oh, but I shouldn't. I should do this. I need to. But when you do that fun thing, you are more refreshed and you have more energy to then dive back into what it was that you had to do. No, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's not easy. It's just planning it though.
Yep.
And maybe it's not every day. For me, it's usually a Sunday. I try and do something fun, because that's my day to kind of rejuvenate and family and that kind of thing. For sure, Sundays I do fun stuff. Got to do that. So I laid by the pool on Sunday. Not my pool. I wish I had a pool, but I went and did that. So that was so nice.
I did that in the backyard on Saturday after I mowed the lawn.
Yeah,
But it was
good.
nice. It was
Yeah.
nice just to relax. I'm trying to make a conscious effort to, pay attention to my breathing and drop my shoulders and relax. So
That's
I'm
so
fidgeter, as you can see through the whole thing. I caught myself.
yeah.
It's my eye, my
Oh.
ear. I fidget.
Who else
I'm the
fidgets?
same way.
Yeah, here I'm in this chair and you can see me.
Yep.
I know you can. I'm always moving, always fidgeting. But you know what? I always say that's good. That burns more calories that way.
I didn't realize how much I did it until I'm looking at myself going,
I think, yeah, I've always been that way though. Even when I was a nurse manager, we'd be in these big meetings, you're sitting all day. They would put like all these like toys in the middle of a table, like just fit like all the little toys you can bend. And I don't know, all of us were like, all bending and oh my gosh. So yeah. And then our kids are fidgety too.
Yeah.
Can't sit still.
Well,
Which,
I did something nice or good for myself today.
what did you do?
I went to the grocery store and specifically shopped for all organic food.
Oh. Good for you.
So that was expensive.
I was gonna say, what'd that cost you?
$120 later, but it was at Aldi's, but I bought myself a juicer.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah, so I got but I did all organic, and I'm sure the other ladies don't know, but I'm just dealing with some thyroid issues, slow, sluggish thyroid. So right now I'm trying to be more mindful of the quality of food that I'm taking in, and less, not having to worry about the pesticides, because that affects
Yes.
as well. So
I truly believe I should really count how the percentage of women that I work with that have some kind of thyroid problem. Some from from years ago, but
Okay.
more and more now. Now, obviously, when we get older, as we age, our thyroid does go down. I mean, that's
Right.
kind of normal, but it should never
Right.
drop down. And I truly feel, just because of the reading and stuff, that it's the way our food is handled, and the pesticides and the this and the that. And not that I think you have to have everything organic, but like your apples and your spinach and those kinds of things.
yes,
Oranges, not so much. You're peeling it, bananas, that kind of thing. And the other thing that I really enjoy organically is chicken, and that's ungodly expensive right now but the chicken that isn't necessarily, they just fill it with sodium. They just inject it, so a chicken's breast is never this big.
right.
That's not normal, so that it's full of sodium. So
Do you have an Aldi's? Do you guys have Aldi's out where you are? Well, that's where I went today, and I got 2 different packages of chicken breasts that were organic chicken breasts, and they were only like $6 a piece, $6.50 a piece.
Oh, good, yeah.
Wasn't bad, but I managed to find some like chicken breakfast sausage too that was organic, and organic lunch meats, and some cheeses. But
Good.
that was the other thing too on this, just doing some research on the hypothyroidism, and I'm not full blown hypothyroidism. It's just I'm at 3.03, so I'm kind of leaning toward the slow end of the scale, but it was enough that I knew that there was something wrong. I was tired. I was, no matter what I did, I couldn't lose any more weight. I was stuck, and I was just, my moods were all over the place. It just was miserable. So I decided to, give that a go after doing some reading, but you'd be surprised at the stuff that you can't have or shouldn't have. I don't want to say can't, stuff that you should stay away from. Broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. I'm like, I love that. So it's asparagus is fine, but I mean, even turnips and rutabaga and stuff like that, you should stay away from. And it makes me sad because I like all of those.
Yeah, there is a whole food list, if you will, for trying to stay away from some things. Now, it doesn't mean you can't ever have it, but
Oh, no.
maybe, if it's stuff that you were eating all the time, that could,
Strawberries was one. I was eating a lot of strawberries. And I was like, but it has to do with, the conversion.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't strawberries on the list for the highest pesticides?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And there's the dirty, there's like
30
30 or dirty dozen or whatever it is. Yeah. But yeah, strawberries. If I do get strawberries, I try and do, like, the farmers markets
Yes.
are open now. That's like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our food is just, I remember driving from northern Wisconsin down here on Interstate 39, which is like this highway in the middle of the state. And there's a little town called Plainfield. And every time you'd go past it, they would be coming with those airplanes and you could just see they were dusting all their crops and the stuff just floating around. And I was like, oh my, thank goodness I didn't live around there. But yeah, it's all of that. And the only thing you have to watch with organic is it truly organic. You just do the best you can with that, you know, but I always wash my foods too. So it's important to do that. But
I try to get as much as I can around here at, like you said, at the local,
oh, right.
site stands and stuff. And then, because they're pretty honest, if you say, listen, I'm having some issues, do you use pesticides on your, and for the most part, they're pretty honest.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't want to hurt anybody. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So
But yeah, so that's my thing. I bought a juicer.
yeah. Oh, you'll have fun with that.
Yeah,
You'll post some juice recipes because I know you'll find some. You'll make some.
That's why I got kale and spinach and apples and bananas in there.
Good. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about or share? Yeah, I think that was a good topic then. So I want you all to make your what makes me happy list and what makes me not happy list and work on that. And yeah, and then I'll be recording this obviously, and then I'll post this in the group. I'll put the document that I shared with you underneath that video too. You guys can have that. And but otherwise, let me know what you need, if anything. And also I'll see you next Monday. Wait, no, that's the 4th. So we won't be meeting next Monday. I knew, but honestly, you guys know how to get a hold of me. Reach out if you need something, and I'll be reaching out to you guys too. And all right, does that sound good?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. All right, you guys have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah,
Bye.
Everybody.